Right, okay. Hello once again. Hello once again, YouTube. Well, once again, YouTube. Andy with you. Another enthralling episode of Andy Cap's Camp Cat Video Diaries. How are you today? Hope you slept well last night, because I didn't, really. Anyway, I'm out this morning. As you can see, it's not a very nice morning. Once again, overcast and cloudy. Looks like it's going to chuck it down. Hope it stays off, because there's one or two things I'd like to do today. What's on the agenda today then? I've got to go down to We Buy Any Car and sell my car to them. I'm going to get a lot of money for it, I don't suppose. Don't want to buy a car, do you? Here's a nice gentleman who wants to buy a nice car.
Hello.
Just a man who wants a Volkswagen Golf. You want a Volkswagen Golf, don't you?
No, thanks.
Go once, go 800 quid.
I got the old.
What car do you drive then?
Vauxhall Corsa.
Piece of crap, mate. Get yourself a Volkswagen. See you later. Oh dear. I got to have a laugh anyway. You got to have a laugh. Anyhow, yeah. So we're going to go down to We Buy Any Old Heap of Shit .com. We Buy Any Old Heap of Shit.com. So I paid $12.50 for it. I'll be lucky if I get 700. Oh well, at least it paid my mortgage for a month, I suppose. Okay, right. Time is 5 minutes to 10. We're on the way out to try and get rid of the VW at a place called We Buy Any Car, which is about a mile away, something like that. Anyway, and we're just gonna accept what they give us, pretty much. So, oh well, I know I'm going to lose a load of money on this. I mean, a shed load of money. Oh dear. But it is what it is, isn't it? It just is what it is, you know. I tried to help the son out with a car. He was desperate. Said, "Dad, I need a car. I need a car." I said, "Right, we just go out and get something for you then, you know." And that little VW diesel was it's a good car, to be fair. It's not bad. I'm saying that I've not actually driven it because I'm not insured for it. But it's reasonably tidy for the year it is. It's done a few miles, but it's a diesel and it'll just keep on going. As long as you service it, it's a good car. And I thought, well, that'll do him. So he had it about 2 days, and then he then rolls up in a BMW at my house. I thought, what he gone and done now? Anyway, it turns out he's gone and got himself a BMW, and he chucked that back at me, which I'm only going to lose a load of money on. I tried to smarten it up a bit, you know, to try and, you know, get a bit more money for it, but I think all that was in vain, to be honest. Right, I just got back from We Buy Any Car. Well, I got rid of the car. Yeah, I made a massive loss on that. They initially offered me £370 for it. I obviously turned that down. I said, well, I want a bit more from that. And they said, look, you know, 500 quid is what I would like, but they gave me 450. You know, I'm not happy with it, obviously. I'm not happy with it, but it's better than nothing, and well, it's gone now, so yeah, that money would be in my account in a few days' time. You know, it'll pay for something anyway. I think that was about an £800 loss in the end. Oh man, yeah, it's just, oh dear, I just have to work a bit harder, I think, or whatever. Anyway, not to worry. Not to worry. I'm not going to let it get me down. I've got some Revels here. I'll have a Revel and cheer myself up. They reckon that sweets is a good way of getting rid of any kind of depression or something. Right. Time is 12. A bit later than I anticipated. Great, look at that, it's a great start, isn't it? I must get myself a new pair of glasses sometime, I think. Keeps just popping out. Okay, anyway, we're going to be going out to a place about 15 miles away. I drive past it quite frequently, actually. What it basically is, it's a wooded area and it's quite dense. Okay, quite dense. I've got my cameras with me, along with some bits and pieces to eat. I've got my walking shoes. My trousers are a bit light, but they're only going to get messy. So what I want to try and do is go out to this wooded area and just see what's in there. Just have a walk around. We might see some deer. Right, so we've arrived. We've arrived, and you might say, whereabouts are we then, Andy? Well, if you can imagine that you've got Swindon here, Oxford here, we're about bang smack in between the two, about in the middle, just off the A420, which is to my north, about a mile and a half or so. I come past this place on a fairly regular basis, and there's a lovely forest over to my left hand side. Well, when I say a forest, I just say it's a large wood. It's very thick, it's very dense. I've seen deer around here in their numbers. Right. Okay. I'm not sure if you saw that at all. I was a bit slow on the camera then. But there was a deer. Right, okay. So, literally, I've just literally just stepped into the wood. And there goes a... Right, I think... So literally just stepped into the wood pretty much. And I've seen a deer. I think that was a hare. I don't know if I'm supposed to be in here actually. I thought I heard a human shout. I think he's might be out walking his dog, I think. It's probably best I avoid it, to be honest. So walking through very slowly and kind of gingerly, to try to fit in with nature, really. Trying to stop looking around, being observant, just seeing what I can see. You know, the deer, if they're in here, and they are in here, they're going to see me before I see them. Okay. It's really lovely out here. I just like being out in a place like this. Very little noise, very little disturbance. I think I'm going to head on down that way, I think. Not a lot going on here. There's very little, next to no bird song at all. You'd have thought, being out in the countryside, there would have been an abundance of bird life. It's very absent at the moment, very absent. You know, it seems like a lot of the birds, just goes to show really, perhaps, how much of the species we've lost over time due to farming techniques, environmental pressure, things like that. A decrease in population, ripping out miles and miles of hedgerows. That's prime area for nesting birds. A lot of it's gone now. So you'd have thought a place like this would be teeming with bird activity. Not a sound. Stanton Park, compared to this, Stanton Park is a sprawling metropolis for bird life. There, I can't hear a bird, I can't hear a crow, I can't hear a squawk of a buzzard. Very eerie, almost spooky. As you can see and might observe, that the wood has changed somewhat. We've left the tall kind of pine evergreen trees behind us. We've gone more into what I would call a more kind of indigenous looking part of the wood. The tall kind of pines are not indigenous, I don't believe, to the United Kingdom. I think they're more from Scandinavia, those. Probably introduced some hundreds of years ago, I guess. But we have now got a whole variety of different trees. I'm not a tree expert, but they look more kind of the typical kind of looking trees you would get in the UK. And somebody's made a good use of it, actually, because I've just kind of come across it by accident. What looks to be some kind of perhaps a hideout, a watch. Not exactly sure what they would be using this for, to be honest. There's well, you're just up higher. There's not a huge amount to see. Right, there's There's a deer feeding, grazing in the field over there. What if I can somehow sneak down the side there, through those trees, and then somehow creep up on it, get a better shot. Keep up this line of sight and be very quiet. I don't know which way the wind's, there's not a lot of wind at the moment. So I'm going to try and sneak through these trees somehow, try and be as quiet as I can, and try and get a bit closer to it. It's really quite dense, this is. Very dense. I've got to try and pick a path through it where I can make as least noise as possible. So thick this is. It's really dense. Bit of a pathway here. Oh dear. Wow, this is pretty tough going. It's quite noisy going as well, especially on this jacket as I walk through. I won't be surprised if I've already spooked it. Getting worse. Never mind, not to worry. Not to worry, never mind, yeah. It's ever so quiet, ever so quiet. Need a bit of wind noise going through the trees just to, you know, disguise and camouflage my footsteps and the noise which I'm going to make. You know, the hearing of and the eyesight of, you know, these wild animals has adapted so well, you know, that they can hear things which I can't hear, they can see things which I can't see. It's all about adaptation. Call it evolution if you like. I prefer the word adaptation just because it's adapted to its environment, you know, and it's still got that trait within itself to run away, you know, that you know, fight or flight fear thing going on. And obviously they're pretty defenseless animals, and the best defense they've got is their speed and their stealth. Yes, and they beat me today, I'm afraid. I caught one or two, the back ends of them. You might just see their white backside sort of jumping up and down kind of thing. That's the closest I'm going to get to it, I think, today. So near the end of my little walk. Not much else going on today, really. I've got to go to Bristol Airport tonight, so before then I've got to do some shopping. I'm going to do some cooking, try and make some kind of a video. I'm uploading the video at the moment. Took so much footage yesterday, I thought I'd use what I had up, you know, the better bits, let's say, the more naturey bits. So that's uploading at the moment. But yeah, I just want to say, well, thanks for watching, and pretty much come to the end of my video. If you'd lasted this long, well, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, getting out in the great outdoors. Didn't see an awful lot today, but it's not all about seeing things, is it? It's all about being out here and getting exercise and getting some fresh air and just seeing nature firsthand for what it is. And it's fantastic. Anyway, more videos to come like this, because there's plenty more places like this to go and see. Yeah, so thanks for watching. See you again.